I think we always think and dream and hope of that. I mean, there's no question that's always the case. But I don't think that when we started that there was the reality that this could transpire. I think the reality was hope we get good enough to get in. And guys have done such a great job and played so well and gotten better and. The players that we thought that these guys could become, they become, and certainly given us a chance. I think I thought that we were really good when we played at Missouri. I thought I left out of there thinking, hey, we're good. We got beat, but I left out of there thinking we're good. And then to back it up going to Baylor, and we saw how good Baylor is, and to back it up going to Baylor and have them down 20, I thought to myself, hey, we're pretty good. So if I was going to say something, I'd probably say that week was probably the time where I thought maybe we could play amongst, the nation's elite. Yeah, but so with their whole team. Their team's gotten better. People should talk about Jared. He's terrific. He's All-American and without question. But I think Buford's pretty good, and Deshaun Thomas is averaging 22 a game in the tournament, and Kraft's as good as any guard around, and Smith has played exceptionally well throughout Big Ten play. And I think their bench is good, too, and they're big. So I really, Jared is terrific, and he deserves the accolades, but they're not a one-man band by any stretch. Oh, the 08 Final Four team would be favored. There's no question about that. But I'm not sure the 12 Final Four team would buy into that at all. They like it. It's unbelievable to me that how much these guys enjoy competing, and the longer they compete with each other and go out there, the more they like each other. I mean, this is a close team. I think we've had some close teams in the past. I don't think we've had a team this close. I do not think we've had a team as close to this team, and we've had some teams that were, I thought, just like this. And you know how much they liked each other. And that 08 team was so unselfish to have so many good players and still yet sacrificed and guarded. But there's something about this team, how they get on each other and how they ride each other and hold each other accountable. And I think only teams that really care about each other do those things. Sounds easy in theory, but unless you really love your brother next to you, you're not going to jump his butt when he does wrong. You just kind of go with the flow, and these guys hold each other pretty accountable. These guys, I don't know if cocky's the right word, but they've got something about them right now that they just think and can rely on somebody, that somebody's just going to make a play. A little bit like a huge play in the game was the end of the first half when Carolina's playing for one and Elijah rips Barnes and gets a layup. I mean, just little things like that gives you momentum going into halftime, because we had totally screwed up the first half, being up 7. I mean, guys just kind of have a timing to make plays like that. Jeff's block and tap. I mean, I don't know if that's because of competitive juice or liking the moment, but the timing has just been right for these guys to have an opportunity to make those type of plays at the most opportune times. So maybe just be good timing. Well, it's it's a heavyweight group. There's no question about that. I think so. I read somewhere or heard something. I haven't really read much, but I can read, but I haven't read much. But I've read that there's been like 49, if I'm not mistaken, Final Fours between the four groups. I mean, which I've been told that may be the most all time. Of course, it would be obviously more of a chance to have more, because it's obviously these teams have had an opportunity to play more because of 2012. But still, though, that's a pretty good deal. And Duke and Louisville, if a Final Four game can kind of slide under the radar, I think us and Ohio State kind of is, because in large part because of the Civil War, going on in Kentucky right now, which is great. It adds interest and intrigue and all those things. But it's a great field, one we're really proud to be a part of. Oh, I don't know that you should rate. I personally. I mean, we've done good, but to me, A lot of times the challenges are coaching guys where you got to manage egos and manage roles and manage chemistry and get guys to all buy in. And I'll say this has been one of the easier coaching jobs that we've had because it's been easy to get guys to buy in to be exactly what we want them to be. Because, hey, there's only so many we can put out there, and they've all bought into that. So I don't know, good, bad, whatever, but I think from an easy standpoint, maybe harder to win games, but easier to get everybody to play the way you want them to.
Coach Aaron Kraft, can you talk about what's unique about him and his ability to defend?
Well, he can slide, but what everybody talks about his own ball defending, which is really good. I mean, really good, like as good as anybody in the country. But to me, the thing that doesn't get enough attention is he has the strongest and fastest hands, and he's as good as anybody I've seen at raking the ball out of Big's hands before they can get it to the, when the ball's down, he's unbelievable at raking the ball. Unbelievable. And in creating, easy post opportunities that either go off a knee or he steals it or something else that could lead to numbers for them. He's really, really, really bright. He's good offensively, don't get me wrong, but he is unbelievably bright defensively in how smart he plays and understanding angles and positioning and when to help and scout and report, and he's really good. But his hands, to me, is what makes him a little bit different. We had 08 was probably as good a run as we could have. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, softball won the league, baseball won the league, football goes to Orange Bowl. We cut down nets. It was an unbelievable time. And then all of a sudden, it just became the polar opposite. You had a cloud that kind of just hovered above us for a while, and the one thing that was pretty much a constant, and I don't know this for a fact, but people have always taken great pride in the basketball program, but we were kind of able to hang in there and do pretty well at a time where the appearance was we weren't doing that good, and then to see how, and everything does turn. I mean, it was going to turn, but you handle a couple situations up front and face it head on, and you get through that, and all of a sudden stability is established again, and now it's like, to me, it's about as good as it was. It's by far the best it's been since 08, without question. And it's going to continue to get better. I mean, we're on an uptick now as a university and as an athletic program, and we're really proud of it.
With Thomas, and it'll be a good matchup for them, and it's just going to be a good matchup. Their front court versus ours, and we gotta just play defense like we know how. They're pretty similar, Thompson, right? That's his name, right? He scores. I think he's been on a roll. He scored 30 at one point in the tournament, so he's playing at a high level. And Jared Solinger, obviously, he's a great player. So they're really similar, but they can shoot the ball a little bit further out, and they're a little bit more beefy, I guess. They're a little bit stronger, so it'll be a tough matchup still. But going from North Carolina to Ohio State, we got a lot of confidence playing against those guys.
I mean, I think we might have been a rebuilding team, maybe in some people's eyes, but I think all along, the guys that have been a part of this team, a big part of this team, aren't guys that you had to rebuild with. These are all guys that have been a part of the program for 2, 3, 4, in T-Hand's case 5 years. So we've been around Coach, we've been around the program, we understand, we've been around each other, we like each other. So we understood what we could do. So we never looked at it as a rebuilding year. We looked at it as more so regrouping. Maybe we regrouped a little bit. We got some different personnel, but we still the same coach team, the same guys that were competing against the guys that left. We those same guys, and so we kept that attitude, and all year we kept that attitude and just wanted to get better. And so if this was a rebuilding year, I hate to see what the next few years is going to be. Since that game, I think my game has come a long way, and I think our team has in general. And so I remember, Aaron Kraft being on the ball, being aggressive as he always is. I watched a lot of Ohio State's games. I've been following them throughout the tournament, and he's been putting the same pressure and on everybody. And he doesn't like. It's not one guard that he's not pressuring, and putting that pressure on. So I'm expecting that same thing, and he did it the last time. And I was hurt last time we played against them. Not using that as an excuse by any means, but I'm definitely not hurt anymore. And I'm looking forward to the challenge, man. I think Aaron Craft is a great defender. I think he's a great player, and I'm excited to play against him.
But that we like proving people wrong. Everybody from top to bottom on this team likes proving people wrong. It's the best feeling in the world to me.